Hey, Giant fans, welcome to the second installment of a Bluer Nation podcast. My name is Jerry Foley of the Giant Insider. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Chris Bisignano, who is the beat writer for the Giant Insider. Well, folks, it's finally here. Opening day, what we've all been waiting for as Giant fans since, I don't know, probably since last October when we last put together a full team where we could actually compete. So after the draft, after free agency, after this thing we call preseason where it's just vanilla plays and backups, it's finally here. We're ready to go. And we will break down the Giants-Jags game as well as some action around the league, obviously with a heavy emphasis on the New York Football Giants. So, Chris, I don't want to kick off this podcast talking about the feathered helmet unit, the team in Philadelphia, okay? But Thursday night...
The team that you love. The team you love. Go ahead.
I was so psyched Thursday as the game approached, and I didn't turn the game on until. And by the way, there was a rain delay, right? So that was almost like God saying He didn't want to see the banner unfurled. But I didn't turn the game on until after it started because I didn't want to see any of that nonsense. I got tired of, they're making statues over there. They're doing everything. I just it makes me sick. So I watched the game and Atlanta has the same problems they had last year. Julio Jones is a monster, but just like last year, he had 1,400 yards and 3 touchdowns. When they get to the red zone, they don't know what they're doing. Matt, the offensive coordinator, I know you have an issue with. You've tweeted about it. My issue is with Matt Ryan more, even. I thought the last 2 throws that he threw in that game were pathetic, out of bounds, didn't give his guy a chance, and it was just a sickening night overall, bud. I don't know if I don't know if you were sick as I was.
Matt, but. I know some of our Twitter followers and even you put on it Matty Slush and stuff like that. I thought that was funny, but it's right on the point where as far as I'm sick of the Matty Ryan, the Matty Ice nonsense. Please give me a break, But Jerry, he once again missed big throws when they needed them. You go back and look at some of the plays. He missed receivers all night out there in the secondary. Julio Jones once again was a non-factor in the red zone. The guy had 100 catches last year, whatever it was, and 3 touchdowns. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Steve Sarkisian, I pointed it out numerous times, stinks. Okay, they're not the same offense with him running the show. He didn't even give last year's playoff game. He didn't even give Julio a chance basically to come. Last year he basically overthrew him. Julio tried to come down when he couldn't, although I think Odell would have, but that's beside the point. And then you had, Thursday night, you see him throwing the ball on the wrong shoulder, and Julio couldn't get the 2 feet down. And, and Ron Darby celebrating like what he did out there. Meanwhile, it was just a bad throw by Ryan.
Yeah, it was a terrible throw. Ryan is from Philly. He's a Penn Charter guy. I don't know if that's why he's such a loser, but kudos to our Twitter follower, Joe, Surfing Joe, whatever his name is, from North Wildwood. North Wildwood in North Jersey. Yeah. He gave him the Matty Slush name, and I ran with it that night. But, what a disgusting display. But listen, it's all behind us now. Today's the day. Giant football back. I think Giant fans are more excited today than they've been since, Game 4 last year when they knew it was over. So there's a few.
After that 61-yard field goal. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was it. That was pretty much the end of the season. But there's a few storylines today. The Ramsey Odell one's been talked about ad nauseum, but I'd rather concentrate first on Olivier Vernon's not playing. The high ankle sprain. You called it. You said he's not going to play week 1. I was hopeful because I was walking around the locker room. What's the drop off going to be from Vernon to the combination of Barwin and Lorenzo Carter?
Yeah, Jerry, I'm not going to call it a huge drop-off because, Barwin is a crafty veteran. He could still do some things. But it's a drop-off. Listen, it's a hit, no question about it, because Vernon was having a monster camp, and he looked good in preseason. And, Jerry, he's a lot of people don't talk about this about Vernon's game. They think, all he does is he gets to the quarterback and off. He gets pressure, but he plays the run, really well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So he seals that edge, you know what I mean? Now he's in a new position. Well, the Giants have had a lot of problems the last few years, off that edge with running backs, So, that's where I think a big, a guy like Barnes could come in, today and get you a few sacks. he could still play ball. You
well,
know,
if all he has to do is pretend he has an Eagle uniform on still, and pretend that Jacksonville's the Giants, and he'll excel. He'll have 4 sacks today.
Well, did you hear his comment the other day? The press. I was standing next to him. I almost laughed so hard I had to muffle myself when he said, I've had a lot of good games in MetLife.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and everybody was like, "Oh, we know that, Connor." So hopefully he continues that.
I was just excited. I was excited when he went to the Rams last year, or whenever he left the Eagles 2 years ago, maybe. I was just psyched that I was never going to see him again, and very happy that he's on our side now. I think he does have a couple good years left. So, but they're also high on Carter as well. You've seen him a lot.
Yeah, very high.
He seems to be a really good edge rusher. He had a sack against the Patriots, and it's going to be interesting to see if there's any drop off at all. But I would suspect Carter probably gets 30% of the snaps tomorrow, at least.
Oh yeah, Bob, definitely. Carter's going to be involved in Betch's game plan today, no question about it. You know what? He's a kid that's really coming on, Jerry. You know, he was really well. I put this on Twitter a lot when camp started. The kid has got a lot of athletic talent, but raw. You know. Yeah. And now you're starting to see that. Now you're starting to see that progress. And Kirby Smart got it out of him in Georgia. You know, the kid really progressed under him, and now you're seeing it with Betcher, what he's doing out there under his system. The kid's going to be a pretty good edge rusher. You know, reminds you of Jerry. He's like that thin, that lean, quick guy off the edge, like Leonard Floyd was, the guy the Giants wanted a couple of years ago. Remember that Chicago swiped up.
Yep.
He's got that type of body. Where I think you're going to see him. He had a sack this preseason, Jerry, and he had a couple of pressures and a quarterback hit too. He came close a few times too. This kid. So listen, him and Ball they're gonna fill in tomorrow. Today, and we'll see. It's gonna be a little bit of a drop off, but we'll see where we're at. But I think they'll be all right today.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. One of the other storylines that they're not really talking about too much is the Giants chose Nate Solder in. I think they chose Nate Solder in free agency. I don't know if they lost out to Norwell. I think they made a run at him. But I said from the start that Nate Solder was more important to get for them just because of how bad the tackles were last year for the Giants, and Flowers and Hart. Flowers moving over to the right side. The early results are in, and he's better on the right side than the left. But to me, such a deep guard draft, the combination of Solder and Hernandez is such an upgrade. And Jacksonville got Norwell. We got Omame, who, look, he's looked not much better than John Jerry last year. So what I'm nervous about today is that rush from Jacksonville on that side. And I've made the argument that Flowers is actually ahead of Omame right now and how he looks. And do you think this line's going to change over the next few weeks?
Yeah, I do, bud. I think Spencer Pulley is going to be in the center, and I think Jalapeno is going to be moving over to right guard by the Houston game, or maybe the latest, the Saint game in Week 4. And you know what, Jerry? If Jacksonville dominates us today, and up front, I mean, you could see Shermer doing it next week in Dallas. Why am I saying this? Am I getting ahead of myself, Jerry? But I think you're on the same page with me, because Patrick Omame has looked horrific this preseason. Horrific. I'm sorry. So this is a real good defensive. If that's Jerry, in today's game, if that's the reason why we lose a close game, because Eli gets popped in the fourth quarter, a couple turnover, a forced fumble, whatever it might be, and they're dominating over that side of the line. Yeah. And Eli cannot get any time in the pocket. You're going to see a change with Sherman. Listen, Sherman, they changed it up last year in Minnesota, man. Yeah. They had that one line, a rebuilt line, and then they changed it up in the middle of the season. They moved over Remmers over to right guard. So there's no way Sherman's going to sit around and watch Patrick Omame.
That's one thing I love about the signing when they got Shermer. He's willing to change as the season goes on. If something's not working, he's going to change it up. They had a whole new line last year, and like you said, mid-season they changed it up, and McAdoo was so stagnant with his lineup, with the formations, with everything, and we'll see. I've said I can live with Eric Flowers if he's the worst on the line, but right now, Omame that right side is in flux, and Omame does not look anywhere near as good as I thought he would. And Today we're going to find out, man. It's going to be either scary. I don't know what adjective you want to use, but I could see Barkley's going to run left today. I think we'll see.
Oh yeah. Scary's a pretty good word, Scary's a pretty good adjective for it because
it hasn't worked out yet. But look, again, enough with the negativity. Another question not question, but something I'm looking at that doesn't make sense. But the free safety position, we cut a lot of guys. We cut Andrew Adams. We cut Darian Thompson. Andrew Adams did not fit in from the start. You said it. He was buried on the depth chart. Darian Thompson was recently put on injured reserve, then released.
We had him getting cut too.
Yeah, Curtis Riley looks like he's going to start. Yet I haven't seen much of him in preseason. I thought Michael Thomas was the guy that would eventually take over at free safety. And look, maybe I'm partial because Michael Thomas is a nice guy. You met with him. You had an interview with him. But what do you think there? I mean, is that something that like the right side of the line? Is that something that's going to change as the season goes on as well, or do you think Riley's going to be the guy for most of the year?
You know what, Jerry? I can't give an answer right now. We're going to have to see how Riley plays today. We're going to have to see because he didn't play in Tennessee much. He played a little bit, but he's not a starter in this league. He's
also a corner too, which look, I know where the NFL.
Well, he played safety in Tennessee. He did play safety in Tennessee. That he pointed out. He did. You look at his stat, he did, but he didn't play much, Jerry. I mean, what do we got to go on? We have to go on, and he got hurt in training camp too. And I don't know. We'll see. But you know what? But later on, we'll see what the how he looks too.
And I was saying corner on his Twitter page. It actually says safety corner, and I laugh because I think that's where the NFL's kind of going, right? With these. With the hitting rules, and you can't lead with the head, a defenseless receiver, and all that. I've said it. I don't know if Landon Collins, a player like that, is going to be around in 10, 15 years. I think, and when I say, he's very good. But what I mean is you're going to have these rangy safeties who are almost cornerbacks because coverage ability is going to be almost more important than someone like a Brian Dawkins who roams the middle and strikes fear in a wide receiver. I think you're going to see more and more smaller guys back there. And look, maybe I'm wrong, but I that's where I kind of think the NFL's going. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of corners converting to safety over the next few years, just because you don't need that big safety in the middle that's going to – you're not taking anybody out over the middle anymore. It's all about coverage. And look, if you're a safety you can hit, you're going to be up in the box like Collins. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
You know what, Jerry? A lot of these big safeties, like, you saw one the other night in Atlanta, although, Neal got hurt for the year. You got some big guys still, but like you said, they're going to have to cover. I don't know about, as far as like a guy like Collins, they're going to have to cover, Jerry. I understand what you're getting at. No question about it. You know what I mean? They're going to have to cover, but, there's still so many big tight ends, too, in football that I don't know, but I don't know. I understand your point. No question about it. I get where you're coming from, because they're taking that physical element. But you know what, Jerry? You see a lot of these safeties are adjusting and throwing some big hits with their shoulders. Yeah, so I don't know, Jerry. I don't know if a guy like Collins would be extinct in like 10 years. As long as the guys those size can cover a little bit. Yeah. Because if they can't cover, roll up at a slot or whatever might be in cover, then
it's over.
There's
no more. There's no more. I should say there's no more Sam Garns in the NFL.
Right. Oh, exactly. That's a good point because they can't cover any, So, Jerry, it's a tough one because guys have adjusted, Jerry. There's a lot of safeties throwing some hits out there with their shoulders, like Collins is a pretty good example. You never see Collins getting a helmet infraction.
No. He knows how to hit. I guess my point is that the bigger safeties is going to be somewhat more obsolete over the next – if they keep changing these rules, and that's all. That's kind of my point, but –
yeah, I know. I understand where you come from, Jerry, and it's a very valid point. But I just think teams are. You know what, Jerry? The running game is back. The running back is back now in this league. Listen. Hey, we drafted a kid number 2 overall. You saw what the Cowboys did. Matter of fact, today with Leonard Fournette, he was number 4 last year for the Jets. So the running game is slowly but surely. He's back. Todd Gurley just got big money. So you're going to need those big guys up in that box too, Jerry. So I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so another question mark going in. Maybe not as much today because Jacksonville's passing game is not. It's not towards the top of the league. Let's just say that. The third corner spot, is that Dante Dion's now? I mean, and I like Dion. He's a great story, but saying he's 5'9" is really pushing it. He looks like he's about 5'8", 150. And I look, again, rooting for the guy. Love his play. I think he deserves it. But how concerned are you with that third corner?
Yeah, well, because I mean, I think they're going to go with Webb. I think Webb will be the third corner today.
Okay.
Dante Dion was on a bubble, and he had that big game.
Yeah.
The last game against New England, and that solidified. He won that job for good.
Yep.
But I think B.W. Webb is our third corner, and he will be there today.
It's funny. He's another guy I haven't seen that much of, right? They're playing guys.
Bounce around.
Right, no, but I mean, even in preseason, right? You saw Curtis Riley. I'm saying Curtis Riley, BW. These guys are starting, or at least playing a huge role, and I didn't see that much of them in preseason. Now, look, we didn't see Odell and Barkley, but we know why. This was a unique preseason where we have guys that are gonna like Barwin. We're gonna see these guys today that we haven't seen much of in preseason, yet they're playing such integral roles. It's very interesting the way this whole preseason played out.
I tell you what, buddy. You know what was big this preseason?
Yeah,
those 3 days up in Detroit. That was big.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's where you get to see how serious, how good we are.
Yes, sir. And I tell you what, Jerry. Webb played well in those 3 days, scrimmaging against the Lions.
Yeah.
Practicing against the Lions. I think after Odell was torching Darius Slay, John Mara got the pen out, called the agent and said, this guy isn't going anywhere, sign him now. Because after that exhibition he put on against Slay, I mean, the Giants were drooling at the mouth. They could not believe how Odell looked in those 3 days.
And Slay's not a slouch. He's a very good
solid corner, bud. Oh, yeah, he's a real good corner, bud. He's a real good corner. And Odell torched him. So it was funny, but those 3 days is what got Odell that contract. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind about it. That Gettleman, Mara, Fish, they all looked at that and said, all right, this kid is 100%. We are signing him to a long-term deal. He's going nowhere, So, but getting back to Webb, you're saying, he had a pretty good 3 days too. I don't think he even played against New England, right, Jerry? I don't think he
didn't. No,
got a snap against him.
Riley didn't get out there. A lot of the starters didn't play.
Right, which goes to show you that he's going. He's the number one slot corner. But he's another question mark too, Jerry. Today, he's a big question mark because we don't know much about him. And when the bullets start flying, although I hate to use that, bullets start flying. We know.
That's fair.
But you know what I'm saying is that when the real action starts, listen, Jerry, there's camp speed, there's preseason speed, and now today it's regular season speed, and that's much different than preseason speed. So we'll see today, bud. We'll see.
And let's just hope that Alec Ogletree was running with preseason speed when he was covering Njoku and anyone else. So
listen, don't worry about Ogletree that much. Don't worry about him. He kind of shifted over late. There was a little miscommunication on that one touchdown against the Browns where there's a little miscommunication with the safety who was blitzing, so he rolled over a little late. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not saying, but, he was a little miscommunication. And the other one, that's a tough route to cover for a linebacker. I've seen plenty of good linebackers get beaten out a little arrow route out of the backfield.
That's fair.
Is it a concern there? Yeah, I mean, no question. But I'm not going to be that worried about Ogletree yet.
All right. Enough of the negativity. And this is my fault for leading with this, but these are just questions that I'm going to have as the game goes on today and say, all right, was I right? Was I wrong? But Odell and Ramsey.
That's all valid points, but
Odell and Ramsey, right? It's going to be the marquee matchup, the marquee one-on-one matchup.
At times, Jerry. At times, they don't play man all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But what's your over/under on catches and receptions today for Odell? Catches and yardage for Odell today. What do you think?
I think he's going to go for 725, something like that.
Wow. That would be a huge day. Again, he's going to be matched up on Ramsey a lot. If he can pull that off, I think Giant fans sign up for that right now.
I think, well, like I said, Jerry, they're not gonna, and I was actually talking to Cody Latimer about this in the locker room the other day.
Yeah.
I asked Cody the other day, I said, when you look at their film, is Ramsey cover with the top receiver on the other team? He's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He goes, they mix it up. They play zone. They'll play Ramsey on one side of the field at times, AJ Boye on the other side. So it's not a defense where, okay, they got Odell, so we're going to throw Ramsey out them, and that's the way, and that's the way they're going to do it. It's, you know what I mean? They're not that type of defense. Now, obviously, Ramsey's going to be covering Odell a lot, but it's going to be up to Shermer to mix it up. I think look for Odell to line up in a slot a lot. Look for Odell to line up even rotate in the backfield on a snap, okay, like an end around. Look for Odell, obviously, on the outside. I think Sherman will move him around a lot. He's going to give Jacksonville a lot to think about, as far as what they want to do with him. Sherman's not, this isn't Ben McAdoo, Jerry, like Phil Simms said. Let's get a shotgun snap,
right.
Quick slant, and that's the offense. I see it, Jerry. I see it in practices, but he has a lot of different formations.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to see Ramsey on Odell all the time, But I tell you what, I know a lot of people, they got AJ Boye, he's a dominant corner. He's not a dominant corner, AJ Boye. Okay? Just because a guy has 6 picks doesn't mean he's a dominant corner.
Yeah.
So we could get Odell later on, with AJ Boye on him one-on-one. Eli's got to recognize that mismatch.
Yeah, that's a good point about the six picks because in the 90s, no one threw at Dion, but Larry Brown I think had I don't know 6-7 interceptions one season. So that's
yeah. Darrelle Revis still. He's another guy that never had big interception numbers because nobody threw his way.
That's right.
Listen, Jalen Ramsey's a hell of a corner, Jerry. He really is. He's a physical. He's a hell of a player. But you have to look at philosophies, matches, and then like that. And Jacksonville's not known now. Will they change it tomorrow? Like Cody Latimer was telling me the other day, he goes, things change all the time. We'll see when the game starts.
Yeah. He's backtracking a bit from his trash talk too, which I think is interesting. Like, he had a little bit of an injury, and then he said, "Well, it's not about us."
Jalen never badmouthed Odell anyway. He never badmouthed Odell. He badmouthed Eli.
Yeah.
He said Eli. Odell makes Eli.
Yeah.
But he's actually friends with Odell. They worked out in the off season. They hung together and. But listen, it is what it is. You saw what happened with Jalen and AJ Green last year, bud. He got under Greenskin. Next, Green's taking swings at him and gets thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
And you know what, Jerry? Good test later on for Odell's maturity because
he can't have another Josh Norman moment again. So
no, it's a good test because Jacksonville's got some talkers on that team now. And besides Jalen. They got some guys that like to yap it up a little bit. Telvin Smith likes to yap it up a little bit. Remember Barry Church from back in the Cowboy days?
Yeah.
He's a big hitter. He likes to let you know when he puts a little leather on you and this and that. So it's gonna be a good test for Odell's maturity. I'm hoping he comes out, no stupid stuff and anything like that.
What are you expecting from Barkley? First game out, his first carry was ridiculous, and it was the type of carry where if it's regular season, he probably cuts that back in. Instead of getting 39 yards, he probably gets 55 yards or something like that. Mm-hmm. What are you expecting him? What are you expecting out of him today?
Well, I tell you what, the weakness in his Jaguar defense is the rush day.
Yeah,
they were like 21st in the league last year, 22nd against the rush.
And they haven't done much to improve that, right? Like in the offseason, did they?
No, it's the same team.
Right.
No, it's the same team. Yeah. See, they got two quick linebackers that are they're not real big in Telvin Smith and Miles Jack, and they got a new kid playing out there, a 7th round pick out there tomorrow, over on the on the strong side. This Jacobs kid, which I don't know much about. Obviously, it's his first game, but that's their weakness is against the run.
Yeah.
So hey, listen, this league's all about matchups, Jerry. So we'll see if Sherman later on, if that's the focal point of this offense is. Trying to run it down their throat with Shaquan and Gallman, So I think we could do. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think we could do something. I think 1 second, but I think we could do some things in the run game today. I really do.
Yeah, I was just going to say you've been saying all along that Saquon's ability to catch the ball out of the backfield is going to be so important for this offense, and it's going to be interesting to see if that manifests itself later today.
Oh, I don't think there's any question, Jerry, that you're going to see Saquon coming out of the backfield today, too. He's going to be a big part of the offense, bud. I mean, he's not going to get 30 touches in his first game
Right.
but he's going to be a big part in the offense as far as running and receiving. Listen, this I see what goes on every day. I see what the plays they're working on. Get ready for that, bud. Get ready. Listen, Jerry, get ready. First play. You ready?
Go ahead.
Wheel route. Saquon for about 40 yards. Remember I said that.
All right. You know what? Since you're doing predictions, and we've covered most of the important things for the game. Just want to go around the league real quick and just be quick with who you think is going to win, and we can kind of discuss this. But all right, so 1:00 games. We'll do those first. Bengals at Colts. Who do you like there?
I like the Bengals. Yeah, I know Luck's back,
too.
but I like the Bengals. The Colts don't have much talent.
Yep.
This is Luck's first game in 2 years. I'm going with the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Bills at Ravens.
Ravens defense is real good. Nathan Peterman starting for the Bills tomorrow. I see the Ravens maybe shutting them out 24-3, something like that.
Buccaneers at Saints.
Oh, please. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gets the start. Obviously, Winston's suspended. I like the Saints team a lot, Jerry. I actually had picked them to go all the way. I think the Saints put a whooping on them tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. We're 3 for 3 so far. These are pretty easy ones. This one's a little tougher. Texans at Patriots.
I like the Texans in an upset.
Yeah, me too. I wish I could have disagreed with you so far, but I haven't. I'm 4 for 4 here. I agree with you. I think the Texans can take the Patriots. I think
But they should have beat them last year, bud.
Yeah.
Brady pulled off a miracle to beat them in the end. They got everybody back healthy defensively, and let's not forget they added the Honey Badger. Okay, I'm not crazy about this New England team. I know they're going to win the division and all that, but I like Houston in an upset tomorrow.
All right, 49ers at Vikings.
Vikings. Okay, look at the 49ers roster. Let's not get carried away. I know I don't know if Vikings are everybody's, what word should I use? Darling pick? I don't know. What do you want me to say? Everybody's, Jimmy Garoppolo, get ready. They won 5 in a row, whatever they finished last year. Vikings are going to put them in their place tomorrow. All right, look at the 49ers roster. They have no receivers and no running backs. I don't see it. Go ahead.
And Kirk Cousins is a big upgrade, I think, over Case Keenum. So.
Oh yeah. But they did lose. But they did lose King Sherman in the offense, so we'll see how that works out for them. Go ahead.
Yeah, and luckily for us, they did. This one's tough. Titans at Dolphins.
Titans. I like the Titans. I don't like this Miami team at all. I don't like Adam Gase. I don't like Ryan Tannehill. I like the Titans. I think Mike Vrabel goes down there tomorrow, gets his first win as the head coach for them.
All right, we'll do the Giants Jags last. Steelers at Browns without Le'Veon Bell.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers in a real close one, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Browns pull an upset tomorrow.
I'm going Browns. That's our first disagreement. I'm going the Browns just because I just think they're due. I think there's so much. I think they're so improved from last year, and I think without Bell, I think the Steelers will struggle. It'll be a 24-21 game, but I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, listen, like I just said, it wouldn't surprise you to see the Browns upset them. Last year the Browns was a tough one in Cleveland. They almost upset them. So, like you said, Jerry, the Browns have a major upgrade in talent this year. Go ahead.
Chiefs at Chargers, 4:00 games now.
Even though Bosa is not playing today, Patrick Mahomes' first game, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yeah,
They're my
too.
little sleeper pick. They're my sleeper pick out west in the AFC.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in Mahomes yet. He's got tremendous talent, but I like the Chargers in this one. Big game for Giant fans to watch. Hopefully we'll be watching it when we're 1-0. Cowboys at Panthers.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but Carolina's offensive line is decimated up front. I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys in a close one. I think Ezekiel Elliott is the difference in that one.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going Panthers just because I hate the Cowboys. It's not the most mature thing to do, but you know what? Go Carolina.
That's not the most mature thing to do.
Redskins at Cardinals.
This is a tough one too, man. I look at this. I've been going back and forth with this one. Bradford's playing out there, right, in Arizona. Alex Smith, first game in Washington. I think Washington beat them. I like Washington.
Nah, I'm going Cardinals.
I'm going to be mature about it, bud.
Yeah, you're going to be analytical. I'm going to be a 5-year-old about it. Another good one.
I guess you're going Arizona then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Go Arizona.
Okay, yeah.
Seahawks at Cardinals. I'm sorry, Seahawks at Broncos. My bad.
Broncos. Seahawks are going to be hard. They're only going to win 5 games because Russell Wilson is great, okay?
Yeah.
But I like the Broncos out of the Broncos are really healthy, too. They got this rookie kid, Royce Freeman.
Yeah.
They're really high on. He had a great preseason. I like the Broncos at home.
You know, the Seahawks are that example of what happens to a team when you sign your quarterback to a lot of money and just the rest of it kind of crumbles, and that's kind of what happened with their offensive line. So I agree with you. I love Russell Wilson. I'm going to go with the Broncos as well, but I think you're right. I think they're going to struggle, and they're only going to win the games they win because they have an excellent quarterback.
Yeah, and that defense is gutted. You know, that's not the same defense that we know with Seattle. They're all gone, you know.
Now the 8 o'clock game Sunday night, Bears at Packers.
I like the Pack. I think the Pack's going to be really good. Rodgers is back. They're really high on those 2 young corners they drafted. If those 2 young corners play well, the Pack is going to be real tough to beat. I like the Pack. I
agree. I think they're going to make noise this year too. The WFAN's favorite team, the Jets at the Lions.
I like the Lions at home.
Yeah, me too. I'm tired of this is Darnold's first game. I'm just not a believer yet. Listen, he's a tremendous talent, but I'm with you, man. I think the Lions are going to win this one. Yeah,
it's going to be real tough to go into that, you know, in the Lions building and win that first game. The Jets don't have much talent on their roster. You know, they could have Dan Marino back there. They don't have much talent on that roster. Their offensive line's a major concern.
Yeah,
I think the Lions are going to dominate up front. I think they're going to pick off Sam Darnold a few times. And listen, he's a rookie. The kid's going to be real good. Don't get me wrong. But to go on the road Monday night game, first game, that's too much to ask for, in my opinion, Jerry.
Yep. And last non-Giant game, the Rams at the Raiders.
The Rams at John Gruden's Raiders. I tell you what, I don't like the idea that Sean McVay did not play the starters 1 snap this preseason, not 1. I think it's going to hurt them in the first half, but it's going to be a close game. But I think the Rams will pull it out. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to win by 20 at least. That's interesting. I know what you're saying. I think Gruden's lost a lot off of his fastball in the 10 plus years or however long it's been since he's been out of the league, and trading Khalil Mack. This isn't like cutting a guy on the Giants where Damon Harrison is surprised. I mean, you just traded one of the premier defensive players in the league, and I think the Rams are going to murder them.
You know what? One matchup quickly on that game. I'm really looking forward to seeing Marshawn Lynch run against that Rams defense, because the Rams defense, they didn't have a real good run defense either. They went out and they got Sue. They put him over there next to Donald now.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that matchup, because they have Marshawn Lynch and Doug Martin over there. I think Gruden's going to try to run the ball 50 times on him.
Yeah, no, he might. That's right.
Yeah, I'm curious to see that matchup by itself. If the Rams win that matchup, they're going to blow them out. I agree with you. If the Rams win that run game matchup, Jerry, I think the Rams will blow them out. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams in a close one.
All right. Most importantly, Jags at G-Men.
Jags at G-Men later on. I'm pumped up, bud. I'm pumped up for later on, heading out to the stadium in a bit. I'm pumped up, bud. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Pat Shermer. I'm going to go with Pick-Off Bortles twice. I'm going to go with Saquon and Odell with big games. Okay, I'm going to go 23. Like I'll put it in the paper, buddy. I'm going to stick with it. 2 turnovers for Bortles. We win 23-17.
I agree. I'm going to go a little closer, 24-23. But it looks like we're on the same. Looks like we're on the same track.
The same score from 4 years ago.
Yeah, but reversed. Yes, but we'll take them. Yeah, and there'll be no. That game was what we were up like 20. I think we were up 21-0 or 21-3 or something, or
21-6 or something like that. 21-6.
Yeah, and John Mara wanted to fire everybody. Maybe he should have at the time.
Well, what I remember about that game the most is John Mara saying that on the bus ride back, I think he wanted to throw everybody off the bus.
That's right.
I remember Mara saying that.
But I think
that was the game.
I think tomorrow he's going to be a lot happier. I agree with you. I think Shermer coming in, new offense, and I just think the Giants are very talented on offense right now. So,
Yeah, I think tomorrow morning, after the Giants win today, he will be much happier. Jerry, just a quick thing on today's game. If you remember what you do, because you're the Rain Man and you're like Dustin Hoffman, in a casino, because you remember all this demented stuff from years ago. So I'm sure you remember this, but I don't know why I'm even asking. But Blake Bortles really hurt us with his legs at the end of that game.
Yeah, he did.
Can't have that happen today, bud. Can't have that happen today. If 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, guys are covered because their receivers are not that good. They're not bad, but they obviously doesn't have a top flight number one over there. Marquez Lee's out for the year. That was their best guy, but can't have Bortles running for first downs, Jerry.
All right, guys, we'll leave it at that. Be sure to order your copy of the Giant Insider newspaper. Go to www.giantinsider.com or visit Magster for a digital subscription. That's magzter.com. Yearly subscriptions are $39.95 for paper copies, and the digital version is only $17. That's 14 issues, as we're bi-weekly during the season and monthly in the off-season. Our next podcast will drop at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, September the 12th. Thank you all very much for listening to A Bluer Nation. I'm Jerry Foley. He's Chris Bisignano. And remember, guys, Sundays are Giant days. Take care, everyone.